young BabyMonster, the newest group from YG, with their, I guess this is the debut single, right? Batter Up. It's a 7-member group, if I get that correctly. And I mean, this seems to be a big deal for YG as a company, because they, obviously put a lot of resources into making this group. And, well, YG, they have some really great artists, and some of their subsidiary companies also are, have some great idols and performers, and they got some big names. So the thing about this BabyMonster group is that they, are kind of following some very, very big acts, you know what I mean? So let's see what they've done with Batter Up.
Permission, no matter what, I'm gonna make my own decisions. I'm talking you want it too. 예쁘고 착한 내가 어떻게 변할지 monster. Remember me, sting like a bee. 굶주린 사자 같은 personality. 네만 뺏고 다른 것은 원하지 않아. I will never do you wrong. You regret it when I'm gone. 좀 더 더 빠르게 날려버리게. Got a lot to say, what a big mistake. Better, better, better. Better up, better up, better up. Better, better, better. Better up, better up, better up. Better, better, better. hitting 안 달려, never can stop. 랩인 시작 니게 샷. 비명은 함성이 될 거야 loud. Surprise come on start 등장. 네가 가는 길이 빛이 나리 way. Okay 피곤한 going. 바통 바꿔 준비 완료. 후다닥 run. 누가 날 막아난 더 세게 봐봐. 너 내가 좀 알아서 비켜. 순진한 척 나는 그딴 거 안 해. 나 whenever look in the mirror. 지치지 않아 계속 발음을 안 해. 무대 위를 태워 싹 다 지워버려. I'm like a boss baby, I'm a boss baby. 모두 다 찢어 like brrrra. Remember me, sting like a bee. 무대를 닦고 노는 우린 MVP. 니만 빼고 다른 것은 원하지 않아. I'll never do you wrong. You regret it when I'm gone. 좀 더 강하게, 더 빠르게 날려버리게. Got a lot to say, what a big mistake. Better, better, better. Better up, better up, better up. Better up, better up, better up. Better up, better up, better up. So listen up, everybody. 소리 높여 move on. We are the monsters of the world. Better up, 지금 당장 뛰어보자 어디든. Let me show you who we are. Better up, everybody. 소리 높여 move on. We are the monsters of the world. Better up, 지금 당장 뛰어보자 어디든. Let me show you who we are. Better, better, better.
Okay. You know what? Not bad at all, man. Not bad at all. It's a great track, and the vocals were really good. I mean, I never really know what to expect, and I try not to have any expectations. Whenever I'm checking something out for the first time, something's new. But man, there was some really awesome singing voices, And I was waiting for, okay, when the rap bars would come, right? Like to see, how good it was and what they would be structured like the use of the rhythms and everything. And it was good. It was not bad, dude. Like there was some excellent syncopation, and the delivery was it's good, dude. It's really strong. I think having this is a rather big group. I mean, because when you think of YG, obviously you think of Blackpink, right? And To Anyone. I mean, like there's a very distinct line or lineage, if you will, right, for like the different groups that they've had. And this does feel like the evolution or the direction that the YG girl group sound would go in. It's it's actually a pretty mellow like track, right? Like as far as the mix, it's very interesting. It has some great sounds throughout the mix as far as like synth and instruments and percussion. That sort of like that ending part, right, when it changes up the beat a little bit, you have kind of like this breakdown for a couple of measures, and then when it comes back in, it has this bright sort of swingy upbeat type of feel to it. It gets very, very bright at that point, and it's actually fun. The sort of first part, those first verses in the song and the hooks do have a little bit of a noir type of feel to them, right? There's that sort of like what is it, like a synth muted trumpet sound maybe. It's very hot, like that's a very warm sound, and it kind of glows a little bit in the kind of in the middle of this mix, and it gives it most of its like color quality and personality. But honestly, the vocals were the most impressive thing. Like there was some I was a little surprised, you know what I mean? Just to hear, there's some very soulful sounding delivery in this for sure. And yeah, okay, so. Yeah, so the use of reds, the siren sound, like there's a lot of red in this actually. That's what that sort of muted trumpet thing that comes around like during the hook. That's what I see, right? It looks red to me, or sounds red to me, I should say. It's pretty straightforward, right? We got like we're in 4, we got a kick and a bass together. The bass is maybe around every third beat or so is bringing in an 8th note, right? But it's very straightforward right now. Like it's pretty clean. Like it's not it's nothing about it is distracting or whatever, right? Like it's a pretty tight groove, and interesting sort of cheer in the beginning, right? To sort of kick off the song, like the actual initiate the sound. And but it's very cool. It has like a really cool feel, but a lot of these red sort of tones throughout.
I'm on a mission, don't need permission. No matter what, I'm gonna make my own decisions.
She's got a very soulful voice, man. Those little trumpet hits every now and again, those are great. It's really like a bright sound. Keeping them kind of sporadic and rather like concise as well as short. It's not a lot of sustain on it at all, but it's like little bright flashes of some brassy sound that really like jazzes it up a little bit. But her vocal delivery is incredibly soulful. Like there's a little bit of this how'd you call it? Like a little bit of a longing type of feel, right? It's a little like angsty, right? But still very soft. She's got a great tone, right? It's a nice resonant sort of body to the sound that she's making. And I was like, wow, okay. Because it's like the to have this voice coming out of, this little like singer, but like it's very good. It's like way stronger than I thought.
I'm talking you wanted to 예쁘고 착한 내가 어떻게 변할지 monster remember me sting like a bee 굶주린 사자 같은 personality 네만 뺏고 다른 것은 원하지 않아 I will never do you wrong you regret it when I'm gone
It's great. It's like moving in onto the second member, right? Now she had using a lot of the upper register. It changes up the melodies as they're switching through each member who's singing, and then the third member, of course, using that. Oh, it's sort of like a sequence pattern where the last syllable ends with that upward inflection, right? And they haven't. It's an interesting blend, like one really soulful voice that's very resonant, one that's sort of lighter and a little bit airier, and then and also getting playful with the rhythms too, right? Like there was some of the more complex rhythms started to come in, and we start going from singing into rapping a little bit, and even she with the soulful voice was able to start to develop the rhythm a little bit too, and it was great, like such a great R&B type of voice, it's really nice, man. It's really nice. So the pre-chorus, right? It's really cool because it sounds like I don't know, maybe harpsichord kind of. It's coming in chunking chords on a 4 count. It's like all downbeats, right? And then it's this sort of ambient type of sound, right? Like it's the build up, right? It's the swirling sound that starts to come in, and her vocal lines over that also very nice too. So it's a great melodies. Like the melodies throughout this song are actually very well written, and then the second half of that sort of pre-chorus section, the percussion comes in, the bass comes in. It feels as if it's going a little bit faster, but they're definitely like a tweak on the dynamics as far as the percussion is going off there, and then that bass is also bringing back that 8th note subdivision in a couple of those measures there. And then like what about it sort of reminds me of Blackpink really is the hook, right? It has that similar like Teddy Park kind of hook to it, right? Because it, it's very like simple, like very, you know what I mean? Playing to a catchiness, like a batter up, right? Batter up, batter up, batter up, like repetitive pattern, and it's really, you catch onto it like really quickly, right? And so it starts to bring on that very widely that like broad type of appeal, right? Because this is really easy to like follow and get into for the hook, and it's but it's good, right? Like it is good writing, and they think like they have a really good energy too. It's like they're cheery and smiley and everything, but their sound is a little bit darker, a little bit angstier, you know what I mean? But they do it with like a smile, and it's interesting. So that like it, I don't know if that's some kind of like vocal synth. It's just really like this buzzy horn type of sound, And so first it sounded to me like some sort of muted trumpet, maybe like a plugin or something like that. It's got some very specific like audio processing on it. As far as the effects, I mean, but that sort of swelling, wah, 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 like that's what gives it this like glowing red tonal quality to it. And it's pocketed really well, like over the low end of this mix, and gives it this, you know, like it's this hot sort of warm feel, right? And it, in contrast to the high dynamic hook line, right? Because it's like better up, better up, better up. The projection on it, the like how much air is behind that, you know, it's almost like a shout, right? And so balancing that with that other, like, because that's the other thing that stands out, is that sort of muted trumpet sound that's going off. And it's a nice, it's so smooth, right? After a very concise, like, ba-da-da, 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 it's almost like a gallop pattern that's going on there. And it just works. Like, it just clicks together so well.
hitting 안 달려 never can stop 랩은 시작 니게 샷 비명은 함성이 될 거야 loud surprise come on start 등장 네가 가는 길이 빛이 나리 way okay 피곤한 going 바통 바꿔 준비 완료 후다닥 run.
So she comes in with a rhythm pattern and keeps it going in the beginning, right? And as she gets to like her last bars there, it starts to get faster. She starts to incorporate more beats into it, right? And this is what makes it fun, right? Like the build up, right? Just within her part itself. And then moving into the next rap line as well, it got even more interesting. It got fun, and then like, okay. And then another rap verse comes in, and it's like, oh, like just a change up in the rhythm, right? Some of those like triplet groupings start to come back in, but I thought it was really good. Like I'm impressed with the vocals. I can honestly say. Great syncopation. I also like the balance between their two voices, right? Because her voice just now was more narrow, like more a little bit more edge to it, right? Like a higher pitch register also, that what's making that frequency like a little bit tighter, right, within the space. But it's a great contrast between the two parts, right? These two voices that are the kind of like lead rappers, I guess. At least that's my interpretation, right? They seem like in the debut song, if they're the ones that come out just spitting bars or whatever, it's like, okay, these are the rappers, right? But they have a really great dynamic between the two of them. I thought the patterns were really nice, and they both did that where, like, okay, starting off with a very specific sort of rhythmic pattern. She was using the sort of triplet groups of 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 3 lolly, right? And then as she went on to the second half of her rap verse there, it got more syncopated and it was more consistent on the 16th note rhythms, right? So it was like really fun. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the vocals like a ton.
Remember me, spin like a bee. 무대를 닦고 노는 우린 MVP. 니만 빼고 다른 것은 원하지 않아. I'll never do you wrong. You're ready when I'm gone.
Great. It's the vocals are so good, dude. They're so good. She sounds incredible. Her soulfulness, and also the first verse, right? There's these incredibly awesome R&B type vocals that are going on here. Lots of English lyrics too in there. So this is part of that wider appeal, right? Like you want to incorporate this so you can reach a bigger audience, because people are going to get sucked into that just because of the fact that it has the English lines in there. And but the vocals, they're really good. Like they're really really nice, dude. Everything so far, just the tone and the vibe of this song, man, they are delivering like just the perfect sound with these voices. It's actually really good, man. I'm impressed. Oh, we got horns too. Like you can hear that sort of harpsichordy sound, right? That tinny like ding 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 ding, and then it seems at the beginning of each measure you get a little double stop horn, boom 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 boom. So some low end horn sound, right? But it's very cool. Pre-chorus instrumental sounds when you have your like hook and verse. It's a little bit more of the percussion and bass, a little bit more of the synth sound that's going on there. So a balance between the two. But even those occasional trumpet blasts, right? They just add a little bit of spice to it. That's really nice. Okay, break. So there's a lot more sustain, right? Once we get to this part, like percussion picks up the pace a little bit, right? There's a lot more snare hits for sure. And then even your bass is, every time you hear it, there's more sustain on it, right? So all this, the space is kind of shortened a little bit in duration, but it's also filled, like with most of the sounds, you know? The vocals and everything, it's like chorus delivery on the vocals, so you hear more than one voice at a time. All of the sounds get bigger here, right, at the same time. That bum 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 bum, that's brought back for this section, right? And so it creates this very central through line across the entire track, and really makes these two sounds fit together. Because there's a pretty, that break in the middle is pretty abrupt, right? You get the one bass hit, 4 count, clap, right? Bass hit, 4 count, clap. So it's a very deliberate like pause there, a break in the groove that was there before. And then this one comes in so full, so upbeat, right? Big, huge vocal, right? Chorus delivery on it. And that one little motive, that little boom, 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 is the thing that comes back. And it ties the two sections together. Let me show you who we are. Better. All right. Man, I think it's a hit. I think it's probably going to do pretty well. And I think that they have, it depends, right? It depends on what direction they go in. This is the first track, so it's like, this is sort of setting the tone. And like I said, it has a lot of that catchiness to it, right? That very easily accessible, wide appeal, very infectious hook, right? Like it's something you'll remember, like it'll kind of get stuck in your head. But it's very well written, and I think that the quality of the voices. Now, it'd be interesting to hear, the rappers doing more melodic delivery on things, because that will, like, what I'm thinking is like, what other kind of songs could they do, right? Could they lean more into the R&B sound? Could they do something like a ballad? Could they, you know what I mean? Like, because the singing voices that they sort of showcased here are very, very good, man. I mean, really, really good. And from what I know, like, from Blackpink, is YG will maybe keep its groups or its girl groups in, you know, like once they find something that works, they tend to return to it, right? And they will, change it up here and there. It kind of depends. It kind of depends on like how successful the group becomes, right? And I guess like how fast it happens too. But my point is that I see like a ton of potential here, I mean, because the vocals are really, really good, man. Really, really. Everything, of course, is like, the up to the standards. I mean, I think the choreography is great. The hook is great. But these vocals are really, really strong. I mean, this is a good vocal group. And, obviously this works, like this style of song, this song structure, this mix, like these things work, man. This is like tried and true. It's gonna be a hit. People are gonna love this. It's gonna reach a wide audience, and I would just like to hear more of that singing voice is what it comes down to. But even the rap parts were really good. I like their use of rhythm. Like it was really engaging. Like it was fun to listen to. Like that's what is going to make this song really popular, is that it's fun to listen to these parts. I was honestly very impressed with the vocals. I think these are some big sounds that we're getting in these voices. Some really, really fun delivery, some great control, and man, I'm left wanting just to hear more, which is exactly what it should do. This is a debut song for a group, and it's left me in the right place, like in the most effective place, right? Because I want to hear more. Like I want to hear that voice again, right? If you have me listening and that's where you leave me, it's like, okay, I'm gonna be here for the rest of it, because I just, it leaves me wanting to hear more. But a ton of potential here, like tons. Big group, 7 members. Like it's really, really. Is it 7? What? 6? I see 6. But still a big group, man, with some incredible voices. They even have this, BabyMonster, right? Like, so something cute, something scary, right? Like this, it's a sort of juxtaposition conceptually, right? Like baby is supposed to be something that you're drawn to. Monster is supposed to be something that you're sort of drawn away from, or like you sort of like, oh my, it's something scary, right? And I think I pick up on that in their energy, because they have this really powerful sort of delivery, and it's in this kind of like noir mix, but while they're doing it, they're smiling, and they're, you know what I mean? So it is a cool little contrast that they're sort of revolving around here. And so it's a great group concept, and it's got the substance. It's like it has the body, right? It's got all this soul, and it was really good. It's really fun. I think that they're going to do well. yeah, especially after, dropping this track. Man, we'll see. In the coming weeks, it'll be like, you'll see all the different articles, and they'll go perform it, and you know what I mean. We'll see if they can grab maybe a couple of those show wins or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised. But it comes down to the members, and not so much the songwriting or the production. It is good, but like I said, it's a tried and true formula. So what sells this, is that these members have incredible voices, and that's going to be the most important part. Like the most significant part of this is that they actually have fantastic vocals. Man, I enjoyed it. My first experience, like seeing BabyMonster, the debut, the first drop. Man, it was good. It was good. It leaves me wanting to hear more, and so I'll be checking out whatever comes out from this group. This was a very strong introduction here, and I think it's going to do well. I think it's going to do really well.